With Bhagwad Gita, Chapter 2, Sloka 66. Siddhant, we will do chanting.
Yes, ma'am.
Nasti
नास्ति
buddhi
बुद्धि
rayuktasya
प्रयुक्तस्य
na cha yuktasya
न चायुक्तस्य
bhavana
भावना
na cha bhavayata
न चाभावयत
shanti
शान्ति
rashantasya
प्रशान्तस्य
kutah sukham.
कुतः सुखम्
Now Shloka 67. Indriyanam
इन्द्रियाणां
hi charatam
विचरतां
yanmanonu
यन्मनोनु
vidhiyate
विधीयते
tadasya
तदस्य
harati
भरति
pragyam
प्रज्ञां
vayurnava
वायुर्नाभ
vimambhasi.
मीमांसि
Thank you. Shloka 66 is one of the important shlokas. It can be chanted for seeking peace. So I'm now explaining na, no, not asti is, buddhi intellect, ayuktasya not united, na not cha and ayuktasya not united, bhavana contemplation, na nor cha and abhavyatya for those not united, shanti peace, ashantasya of the unpeaceful, kuta where, sukham happiness. Now here Sri Krishna ji has said, but an undisciplined person who has not controlled the mind and senses can neither have a resolute intellect nor steady contemplation on God. For one who never unites the mind with God, there is no peace. And how can one who lacks peace be happy? So here Sri Krishna ji is asking, like how a person can be happy if that person doesn't possess peace of mind and he or she is not able to control the senses. So it's a question for us. And Sri Krishna ji is asking us that if you don't have peace of mind and if you are not able to control your senses, how you can be happy? That is very true. If we don't have peace of mind, we will not be happy, no matter whatever you get. So Sri Krishna ji is stressing on the point that one has to have the mind absorbed in thought of God in addition to the control over his or her senses. So here so many things is been told that uh, we have to be absorbed in Sri Krishna ji. Absorbed in Sri Krishna ji in the sense we should be keep on praying to Sri Krishna ji, keep on bowing down in front of Sri Krishna ji, chanting the shlokas, offering to him. So this is called absorbed. Matlab one part of yours is totally towards the Supreme Lord. Plus you are able to control your senses, right? Plus your mind is also united with God. So mind is also united with God in the sense you are not thinking anything else apart from that you are praying to Sri Krishna ji, you are devoting your time to Supreme Lord. So generally what happens? A person will think so many things. What will I do tomorrow? What will I do after the class? What will I do in the night? What will I do after 1 month? They will be thinking so many other things. So Shri Krishna ji is telling, don't think all these things. You only think of Supreme Lord. So what happened when we think of Supreme Lord? So you will say, no, how we do the planning if we are not thinking of the future? We need to do planning, right? After 1 month, this is the special day, what I'll be doing. So what happens when you stop your planning? Supreme Lord's planning will start and he will give you the best. Try this. It is very true. Okay, so it is very difficult, but it is very easy also. How it is easy? Keep chanting the shlokas. When your mind start thinking something else, again bring it back. Chant the shlokas. Remember Sri Krishna ji. So mind is very naughty, na? Mind is very naughty. It has been said by Sri Krishna ji, not me. Later, some other shlokas it will come. So he says that mind is chanchal. So for chanchal is a Hindi word. For English it is naughty. It will keep on running from here and there. How a small baby will be 2 years or 3 years child and 1 year child who has just started walking. So that baby is very difficult to control because they are so curious and they are very naughty, and in Hindi we will say they are very chanchal. They have started walking and they will keep on walking from left, right. The same house they will go left, right, hundred, thousands of times. So this is the same way mind is. It keeps on wandering left to right in all the directions. What we should not think also, we will think all those things. So we learn here that we should not think. Now we are learning, we should use it in our life, we should imply in our life. Don't think what will happen. Instead of, think of Sri Krishna ji, imagine him, imagine his lotus feet, his anything, whatever you like. And always remember him instead of remembering something else which is worthless. But if you remember Sri Krishna ji, it is worthy. So he will do your planning. So Sri Krishna ji is saying that if a person doesn't have any peace of mind, that person cannot be happy. So he is saying that make yourself absorbed in Supreme Lord, control your senses and your mind also to be absorbed in Supreme Lord. Think of him, try to unite with him. You know, how is that uniting? So if someone asks, no, like who has not even in a spiritual path, he don't believe in gods. So Sri Krishna ji is calling them undisciplined person who don't believe in God, who are not at all in spiritual path, who don't have control over the senses, and their mind also are not controlled. They are undisciplined according to the Supreme Law. So I would always say chant the shlokas, keep chanting the shlokas daily. Supreme Lord Himself will help you in every aspect. He Himself will teach all the teachings to you and make you follow His teachings. Okay, now Sloka 66. Sanchi, Sanchi.
Yes, ma'am. I tapped the screen instead of the mic button.
Okay, please explain.
Yeah. So here Lord Sri Krishna is telling that all the human beings thinks about so many things to do when, to do what, to play or play what. They do plannings before it happens. So Sri Krishna is telling that you don't plan, he will plan it for us.
Correct. Very good. So from today, Sanchi will stop thinking all these things, right? And she will chant more and more of shlokas. You try this seriously. You will get more than what you have expected. You will be more happy with what you are now after a year, and if you are chanting throughout the year daily, then the miracles will happen. Please,
Okay.
Sanchi, try Sanchi chanting the shlokas. Thanks.
Okay.
Siddhant.
Yes, ma'am. So here Lord Shri Krishna is addressing the people who don't chant the shlokas and who are undisciplined. He says the people who don't chant the shlokas and don't remember himself, Lord Shri Krishna, as unhappy, as without the peace and the God's grace that Lord Shri Krishna explained in last shloka. Without that, then someone can't be happy. Without the peace, the person can't be happy. He can't enjoy, uh, and that all happens because they haven't chanted Lord Shri Krishna's slokas and they haven't remembered him.
Very good. Thank you so much. Ritu Bhavi.
Yeah, so here Sri Krishna ji says that a person to be happy should have peace of mind. And that peace of mind can be achieved only when a person is disciplined and he has control over his senses and he attaches himself to the Supreme Lord. That will lead to peace, and peace will lead to happiness. Without peace, there is no happiness.
Thank you. Anjali ma'am. Okay, Rupashri ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. In the shloka, Lord Shri Krishna is telling that a person who is has a calm state of mind, only he'll be able to focus on the Lord. So, if we don't have a calm state of mind, then you'll not be able to focus on Lord Shri Krishna. So, we need to, like, we'll keep thinking of what will happen next. This is coming up, that is coming up. We keep thinking about the future, but in such a state of mind we cannot have the focus on the Supreme Lord. So we need to uh, not worry about the future, but instead we need to worry about like we just need to surrender to God and just need to see experience that how God will make things happen. Mm. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Now, Shloka 67 meaning Indriyanam of the senses, he indeed charatam roaming, yet which mana, the mind, anuvidyate becomes constantly engaged, tat that, asya of that, harati carries away, prajnam intellect, vayu wind, navam boat, eva as ambhasi on the water. Now here Sri Krishna ji has said, just as a strong wind sweeps a boat off its charted or fixed course on the water, even one of the senses can sweep the mind which is indulged deeply in sense objects. Hence, control over senses is just not enough. Even the mind is to be focused, mind is to be absorbed in God and senses through equanimity. So, see, Lord Sri Krishna is trying his best to make us understand that we need to have control over mind, we need to do all the activities equanimously, So, he's trying his best. So, in another batch, one student has said that, ma'am, why Sri Krishna ji is, no, he's using different shlokas for explaining the same meaning. So I told we are humans. We cannot understand at once. Do you understand when mama says study? Like Sanchi. I tell her so many times, Sanchi, chant the shloka, chant the shloka. She will not understand. Same way, when mummy says read, study, kids will not understand one time, two times, four times. Mama will try to convince the child with so many different ways. Same way, Sri Krishna ji is trying to convince us in different ways the same meaning, that somehow you understand it, you use it in your life. And when we don't when the child doesn't understand and mama gets totally frustrated, what happens? That 2 3 will get right, Sanchi. Sanchi saying is same way. Let's see the patience of Sri Krishna ji, but I should say Sri Krishna ji has lots of patience. I myself has experienced. So he's trying his best. Throughout the Bhagwad Gita, in every chapter, he'll be taking this topic, but different terms, different examples, different way of talking, so that any point, no, just 1 second, just one, no, this snap, and maybe you understand it. So we should try to use it in our life. We should try to imply in our life. It is no, it will not suddenly you think and it will happen. Nay, you will come back to your nature again, what is now. So again you have to, make yourself conscious and try to follow the teachings what is being given by the Supreme Lord. So here Sri Krishna ji has given an example that, like in a ocean, how the boats are sailing, they are fixed to their position, but when a strong wind comes, they carry away the boat with them. So, same way is our senses. Even one sense can carry away our mind. So, we need to, what we have to do? Senses we have to control. Sanchi, please mute. And we need to do all our activities equanimously, and fixed our minds on Sri Krishna ji. So Sri Krishna ji is saying that controlling the senses, controlling the senses is not just enough. Even your mind has to be controlled. So how to control the mind? Because mind cannot stay empty. It cannot stay idle. Mind's speciality is that it cannot stay idle. Something the mind has to do. If the mind is staying idle, it is called devil's house, right? It's a very famous saying. An empty mind is a devil's house. So mind has to be occupied. So Sri Krishna ji is saying, occupy your mind with me. Always think of me, talk about me, chant my shlokas, say my words. All these are the words of the Supreme Lord. Why don't we repeat it? These are called positive words, magical words. So when we chant the shlokas, it will be good. So you have to occupy your mind. You cannot sit idle. You can make your hands idle, all the other body parts, but mind is such a thing that it has to be active, it has to be engaged in some or the other thing. Otherwise, it will go in wrong direction. So that is the reason Sri Krishna ji is saying that make your mind thinking of Sri Krishna ji in many different ways. You can choose. He has given us many options. So we can choose from that. Okay, Siddhant, would you like to explain this?
My mother one day, many times it has happened. My brother scolded my mother scolded my brother. My brother was okay, fine. Then the next day is completely changed,
In the sense,
like back to normal.
that is the normal. It has to be back to normal, right? It's totally fine. Good. That is a good sign that everything comes back to normal. Siddhant, your
Same to
turn.
me also
Yeah, good
when
girl.
it happens.
Mama will scold you, but why she is scolding, you should try to understand that as well. Siddhant, your turn.
Yes, so here Lord Shri Krishna is telling us about
Ma'am, something happened.
Maybe network issue.
My iPad has low charge.
Hmm.
I am back, ma'am. I can explain.
Yes, ma'am, Anjali, ma'am.
Sorry, last time I couldn't unmute. I don't know.
No problem.
Okay, in this sloka, Sri Krishna is telling that, like how when there is a boat in the sea and one strong wind can take that boat away. So how that happens? Same way, one just bad sense can spoil the whole mind and just whole body in overthinkings and doing the things both the ways. So we should not make that to happen. We should control our senses in a way that we should do our primary duties and equanimously without thinking anything and without any expectations. We should not worry about whether it is happiness or sadness. We should just be focused on our primary duties.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Sanchi, want to
I
add?
I try to control myself to not ask my mom any junk, but I see someone else eating, so I
It's
can't
okay.
control.
At least you're trying. Good. One day you will be successful, like your mama. She's totally controlled, right?
Yeah, she hates everything which I like.
Acha, now you explain the meaning.
Yeah, so here Lord Shri Krishna is telling us that, for example, if a strong waves pushes the boat can sink. If it's too
Strong
strong,
waves nahi hai. It is a strong wind who carry away the boat.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm. then, so what will happen? Why it has been said here?
One more example I have. When my mother scolds me in the night, I again come back to normal the next day. The same way one sense can change the whole thing.
ठीक है, good. One sense can change the whole thing, right? It can make you hyper and you can make your mama angry and everything will go wrong. Correct, good, nice. Rupashri ma'am.
Ma'am, can I leave my iPad as only 4%?
ठीक है. Bye. Next time charge your iPad, please.
Yeah. What happened was now I don't use my iPad because offline school has started. So I don't use my iPad so much. So I forget to charge it.
Okay. Please remember and chant the shlokas, please.
Okay.
ठीक है, thank you. Rupashri ma'am. Bye.
Yes, ma'am. In this shloka, Lord Shri Krishna is telling about controlling our senses. It is like the mind is very fragile. It can be wandering in different thoughts. So, just like a wind can move away the boat's direction and it can change things, like that, a wandering thoughts can just shift the way we perform our actions or the way we live. So we need to be focused. We should not get carried away by the sense objects, and we need to get our focus right.
Thank you, ma'am. Ritu
Thank you,
Bhabi.
ma'am.
So in this shloka, Sri Krishnaji says that there may be many distractions which distract us, our sense organs, and carry us away from peace and happiness. But we should try to stay focused and bring back our sense organs to their original state and try to be peaceful and happy.